Hello, friends. I'm Rags Rosenberg, and I'm here with Catherine Svehla. This is the second of a two-part video on the pandemic, sacrifice, and the unseen God. Over the course of the next couple of weeks, we'll be posting several more videos of conversations with Dr. Svehla, so please subscribe to this channel. And wherever you are in this time of great upheaval and uncertainty, I hope you're safe. Please take care of yourself, and let's all try to take care of one another. You also mentioned that some of the values that we have, that we attribute, that are connected with our sense of the economy as a god, derive directly from our Puritan past.
Right. Because we don't appreciate our need for mythology and its grasp, because we don't see it as the underlying substrata of our culture, we dismiss all kinds of things because we don't believe them, thinking that then they don't affect us. And a great example of that is Christianity, for lots of people who aren't Christians, and even more to the point, our Puritanism. It was a really long time ago. Don't meet a lot of Puritans today, so we don't think about it. But their ideas about who gets what and how God favors people are very apparent in our public conversations about welfare and helping each other and the vulnerable and who gets what and all of that moralizing. Because in the Puritan perspective, God rewarded the good people.
So this is connected with somehow the whole idea, the whole notion that if you are poor, it's because
you're a bad person and you don't deserve it.
Right.
You don't deserve help. And do you see then too how easily, unconsciously, we could, as we become consciously a more secular society, make the economy a god then?
Say more about that.
Well, in the Puritan view, if you enjoyed wealth, it was indicative of your good relationship to God and your moral standing. We still, many of us, even those of us who don't want to, unconsciously think that rich people, are better people, And if we don't think rich people are good people, well, we still maybe think that poor people probably did something wrong. I mean, it was just this atrocious debate in Congress over the stimulus package where I can't remember the name of the congressperson, but who was all in an outrage because we're going to give another $600 to poor people because that's going to encourage them not to want to work. So there it is right there. It's like, oh, they're lazy. They lack willpower. The moralizing there is incredible. And the mechanism, the assumption is that the economy properly functioning, if we appease it, if we feed it properly, it will reward the people who deserve it and not the people who don't. We don't use religious language anymore. We use the language of economy. But it's the same thing.
Right. So somehow in the course of the history of at least our country, the moral values associated with Puritanism remain, even though the formal religion itself no longer really is predominant.
That's right. And see, this is one of the reasons why it's important to be aware of mythology and thinking of a human being and human cultures as infused by mythology and constantly in the process of making myths, because intellectually you might say, oh, I don't believe that, but there are layers and layers and layers and layers and layers and layers of myths, that is narratives carrying values and information about what it means to be human and how to live, that are the substrate of culture, and you're embedded in that, regardless of what you intellectually think you believe. And I just want to say that the whole conversation about the Puritans and the morality, you could see that as one iteration of an even deeper question. And that has to do with the mystery of why do some people seem to have better luck or better fortune than others. One of the puzzles, one of the problems is how to deal with life's uncertainties. And so we have tried to explain that to ourselves. And one of the explanations has been that God decides. In pagan polytheistic systems, the gods decided. There's been this idea that there's some force out there called God or the gods, something that makes those determinations. We're taking it all as a moral issue, and that is one way of approaching this impenetrable mystery, which is, why do some people seem to have better luck than others? Why are some people born rich and some people born poor? Most of what we enjoy, the hand fate deals us, is the hand fate deals us. But so there is an alternative, though, to this perspective that somehow there's a relationship between the moral character of an individual and their outward fortunes, and that kind of weighing, which is to say, nobody knows. And so therefore, then, none of us is particularly deserving of any of it, the good or the bad. And when you're in that kind of a place, then the issue isn't, the question isn't, what kind of judgments can I pass on those people out there? Then it becomes a matter of so how do all of us as a group deal with the incredible uncertainty that comes with human life? And that, from that perspective, then, it's all about taking care of each other. As far as I know, as a species, we don't have very much experience with that. But we know that there is such a possibility. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to talk about it.
That's an important point. Because you can talk about it, because it can be articulated, it means that it's a possibility.
So, we're all in this together in a way that I have never seen before in my lifetime. And it's scary, and it's a huge challenge to imagine how we're going to manage the needs of people in this time. But this is also the opportunity. This is also the moment at the crossroads that a lot of us have been waiting for. And a lot of us have known it was going to come. So let's go the right direction. Let's take care of each other.